Well, with kids back in school and cold and flu season setting in, there's a lot going around. And parents know it, of course. But what's going around right now? Well, that changes from community to community, and it also changes as we move throughout the year. To find out what's causing problems right now, I went to local pediatricians to find out what's bugging Metro Detroit. At Shelby Pediatrics in Shelby Township, they say respiratory syncytial virus, RSV, and the common cold are two of the three issues bugging kids in Macomb County. RSV is a common childhood ailment. Most kids have had it by the age of 2, but it can send children to the hospital. The third issue bugging kids, an uptick in COVID, which they say may be tied to Halloween activities. At Bloom Pediatrics in Birmingham, they're also seeing an uptick in both RSV and COVID.
And we're also seeing a lot of Coxsackie virus, commonly known as hand, foot, and mouth disease.
Dr. Anna Groby says hand, foot, and mouth is a common illness in kids that's rarely serious, but extremely contagious, spreading from child to child through surfaces and respiratory droplets. Symptoms include fever and flu-like symptoms 3 to 6 days after the child contracts the virus.
It does present with often low-grade fevers and headache, malaise, meaning the child's tired, just doesn't feel good. Very commonly sore throat,
which may start 1 or 2 days after the onset of fever, along with painful mouth sores. These sores usually start as small red spots, often in the back of the child's throat. They blister and can become painful. And then there's the namesake rash, which can appear anywhere on the body, including the palm of the hands and the soles of the feet.
Some of the smaller children will refuse to bear weight on their feet, or if they're of crawling age, they won't want to crawl because their hands are painful.
The good news is that hand, foot, and mouth usually goes away on its own, and the rash only lasts a couple of days and rarely leaves scars. The fluid in the blisters and the resulting scabs that form as the blisters heal may contain the virus that causes hand, foot, and mouth disease. Keep the blisters or the scabs clean and avoid touching them.
It is a containable illness, but it does require a little bit of diligence on the part of the adults to really wash hands and wash down toys and things that the children do touch.
Now, I also checked in with Universal Pediatrics in Midtown Detroit. They're also seeing a lot of common cold symptoms, RSV, and hand, foot, and mouth. Again, hand, foot, and mouth typically resolves on its own, but you will want to see a healthcare provider if your child is not drinking enough to stay hydrated. Their fever lasts longer than 3 days, your child has a weakened immune system, or if the child is very young, especially younger than 6 months. Otherwise, just make your child as comfortable as possible and smother them with some TLC.
There you go. And we've talked and focused, as we should, on COVID-19 so much in the last 20 months. You cannot forget about these other illnesses and viruses that we have to deal with.
That's right. Cold, flu, RSV, and hand, foot, and mouth can be spread by respiratory droplets. So when we had these masks on, it really put a damper on a lot of other issues as well. Masks coming off, those other ailments going up.